Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, otherwise known as Josh, with another LEGO Star Wars Classic review. And today we have Luke's Landspeeder from 2010. I believe the third version of this we've had. Set number 8092, ages 7 to 12, came with 163 pieces, and retailed back in 2010 for £25 or $25. So straight away, price is a little off. For 163 pieces, it definitely should have been £20 or maybe even £15. But I mean, I suppose £20 are alright. Seems that, well, a couple of the figures I like to think are quite cool in the set. Other than that, though, it's a pretty, well, I'll be honest with you, a pretty forgettable set. I mean, I believe this is the third variant. We got one back in 1999, like the first year of LEGO Star Wars, which wasn't very good. It retailed for like £6, had like, I don't know, 48 pieces or something, I don't know. Then we got another one in Mos Eisley's Cantina, which we're obviously getting a new one of in the summer line this year. That was back in 2004. And then 6 years later we get this one in 2010. Personally, I like the one the best. Although now that I've seen the one that we're going to get in the Mos Eisley's Cantina in like the summer line of 2014, I much prefer that one to this one. So, but this one is the best that we had at that time. So that's good. But yeah, I suppose, I mean, now, I suppose I wouldn't recommend buying it, mostly because we're getting a new one, and also it is kind of a bit of a forgettable set. There's not really any, you know, figures in the set you need to get it for. I mean, the Stormtrooper's cool, but since that point we've had quite a few upgrades of the Stormtrooper. We're getting another one in the summer line, and there's not really any reason you'd get this set right now, to be honest with you. But anyway, so let's get into the actual set. Right, so first of all, we have ObiWan Kenobi. Not much to say about him. This is the exact same version, actually. We got the Millennium Falcon 2011, which, by the way, you can check out on my channel. I reviewed it. Go back in my history, and you'll see it. It's like one of the first classic reviews ever, I think. It might be the first one, so, you know, this is the exact same, except with that one, we got a hood, a brown hood, and a brown cape. So, yeah. No back torso printing, unfortunately. That's a bit of a bummer, but you know what you can do. Just all plain. Just those general Jedi robes. You know. He's actually known as Ben Kenobi. I really should have looked this up, what he's actually called on the box. Because I'm not sure if they called him Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi, but whatever. Here, right now, he's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think. Or Ben Kenobi, I don't know. So there you go. Nothing really to say about him, though. Hair. No back face printing. Just his brown, you know, his grey, I mean, sorry. Going up to his hair. You know, very average hairpiece. And he gets a blue lightsaber. You know, as he should do. But there's nothing really to say about him. Not really ridiculously spectacular. You probably got some sort of Obi-Wan. I mean, if you want to create a scene with the old Obi-Wan, then yeah, I suppose you may want it. But again, you know, not really a reason to go on eBay to buy it completely, you know, the whole set. So, but anyway, so let's go into the next figure. We have Luke Skywalker. Again, actually very similar to the one we got in the Millennium Falcon back in 2011. Oh, well, when this set came out, it was going to be a year time, but, you know, In fact, I have actually that figure here. You notice the torsos are literally exactly the same to every last detail, as well as the legs. The only differences are the hair and the head, or the face printing, you know. Neither of them have back torso printing. You notice. This looks like it's a bit, you know, off, like it's meant to go across the entire thing, but you have this black line on the side. But now that I've got two of them, you know, it may be on purpose. I don't know. I really should watch episode 4 again. So yeah, the torsos and legs are literally exactly the same. They tried to print white over this flesh sort of colour, and it didn't really work, as we know. As a lot of us know, trying to print white over a darker colour just sort of doesn't work, because you can still see the darker colour most times. So it doesn't really work at all. Anyway though. So there you go, that's him. That's his face. That's his hair. As I said, the only difference between this one and the Millennium Falcon one is the hair is different. I'm not sure which one's more accurate. I assume this one is. And also the expression is different. But there you go. That's him. It doesn't really go down the belt that much, but you won't really notice it, to be honest with you. But there you go. This is obviously his Landspeeder, so you know, there you go. He drives it, and he comes with a blue lightsaber as well. By the way, he doesn't come with any sort of gun. He just comes with the blue lightsaber. So, you know, and I'll tell you where you can put those blue lightsabers in a minute. Right, on the next figure. Again, we just get a normal R2-D2. This was the time we were getting that old one. This is old now, actually. You know, still seems fairly new to me. But now we've got that new one that came in the Jedi Interceptor this year. This one, really do not want this one at all anymore, do we? Not that really many people did want it, just because there are so many of them. He's the most common figure, in fact, of all time, apparently, in LEGO Star Wars sets. He comes in the most, even more than Battle Droids, so, apparently. So there you go. That's just R2-D2. There's nowhere actually to put him, because you notice there's only 2 seats on the thing. However, that is accurate, and actually, if you watch the film, he sort of sits on there, like, actually lying down. So, yeah, but anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. On the next figure, I'm actually quite glad they added this. I mean, they should have done, because he's meant to be there. But we get C-3PO, and this figure is actually really rare. How many times have we actually seen this? Think about it. The sets we do see him in tend to be quite big, quite large, because how many scenes in Star Wars do we actually see him in that they've made LEGO out of? You know, this is not the newest version. We did get one in 2012, I believe, the Droid Escape, where it had, you know, like these. Well, I believe it was more accurate, and I like that one more because it just, you know, there's more detailing, more colour, more. Well, I say more colour. He's all gold, so yeah. But like you had these the things, wires and things you could see instead of that black line there. But anyway, well, that's C-3PO really. So yeah, cool figure, quite rare. And in fact, this is the only C-3PO I have in my entire collection, the only protocol droid I have. Because these are quite rare. But, you know, there you go. That's C-3PO. Nothing really to say about him. Not the best one we've had at the moment. At the time, he was pretty good. He was pretty rare, so it was awesome getting him in a fairly cheap set. But that's C-3PO. With his back printing. Okay. C-3PO. And he sits on there as well. I'll show you in a minute. And now onto sort of the last figure. We have the Stormtrooper, and we do have that little droid over there. But if you count as a figure, then whatever. But anyway, so we do have this Stormtrooper or Sandtrooper. Let's just call him a Stormtrooper because he's basically a Stormtrooper because the Sandtroopers have all that sand marking, and we've got those ones. So yeah. He's got this backpack thing. We have seen this backpack before, in fact, on Stormtroopers, in like the really old ones. In fact, I think the same set. I think it was the Mos Eisley set from 2004. We got these Stormtroopers with those backpacks. And these are very simply put on. You just build them. I think you can work out how you put them on. You have this thing. The main difference is that you get this black waist cape. I mean, not waist cape. Shoulder cape if you want. So yeah, we're getting the same thing, in fact the new one, except it's got a bit of printing on it, which is awesome, you know, that's awesome. We've just got an all black head, nothing to say about that. And that's just his face. Yeah. Comparing it to the one we got in 2012 Battle Pack, which is the best one so far. However, it looks like in the new one, like in the Mos Eisley's set, we'll be getting some new ones which are better. So, and you see the torso printing is vastly different. This one's vastly better. Helmets are pretty much exactly the same. This one has that sort of face on it, whereas the other one I just showed has just a normal black head. Oops, I dropped him. But okay. But there you go. He's got no leg printing, which is a bummer, but what you can do. Yeah. They seem to be changing stormtroopers a lot. Seeing that, you know, this one was only turned 10, then 2012 we got this one, now we're getting a new one in 2014. So, yeah, but okay. These are quite cool. But there you go. And then obviously he's just, you know, he's the guy who's taken by ObiWan Kenobi. You know, these are not droids you're looking for. You probably know that scene. It's like one of the most famous scenes. You know, these are not the droids you're looking for. But anyway, anyway though. Okay, so sort of minifigure. Not really, I suppose. We have this little droid. I'm not sure what they call it actually, but it is some sort of droid. You ignore these clear pieces. These are just like to hold it up, but they're not. It's basically a hovering droid. Yeah, it just hovers around like so. Very simply put together. And you get these two. You know, that's cool. And we actually do see this in the actual scene where, you know, he's stopped. So that's cool. See a few of these floating around. And there you go. Really? That's just a little droid. Yeah. Don't know what that's meant to be. I assume like a surveillance camera or something. But anyway, so let's get on to the actual set, which is, yeah, it's kind of cool. As I said, you know, kind of cool. Not really that useful unless you want to recreate that exact scene or something. But I suppose it's just one of those sets that, you know. So it's actually kind of curious that they've remade it, like, well, they're going to remake it 4 times now. You know, I mean, we normally get like a bunch of really good sets that sell really well. That a lot of people want, that are very common in the Star Wars universe, that we only get like 2 versions of. Yet this one, which is, to be honest, is a bit forgettable. Yeah, it's kind of iconic, but definitely not as much as other sets. And we've got like, yeah, we're getting a 4th version of it. So, but okay, whatever then. Right, so this is the Landspeeder. Underneath it's meant to hover, so we have these clear pieces. These are quite rare in the colour of black. Normally we get them just clear. You know, like see-through. So, that's kind of cool. Quite rare in this colour. Get like 7 of them. Onto the actual thing. Not really many features at all to this. This is one of those very few sets which it doesn't have flick-fire missiles. I know, right? In 2010, pretty much every set, you know, flick-fire missiles were like in full swing in 2010, so. But, you know, it doesn't. Has 2 seats for 2 people, obviously. We are meant to put Luke in here. He's the driver, because it's his thing. Okay, and then we're meant to have ObiWan in the other seat. Oh, hang on, put his arm up. Okay, Luke has a steering wheel to drive his Landspeeder. Now you may be wondering, where do the rest of them go? Or rather, where do these 2 droids go? Well, actually, this is accurate, because if you actually watch the film, C-3PO, I believe, was sitting something like that. Hang on, if I can put him on. Okay, so put him on like that. I can't even put him on. Okay. He wasn't actually sitting in that exact position, but I can't put him on otherwise. He was just basically sitting up, which sort of made me laugh. And R2 was lying down. He was basically just lying down like that. That's literally how he was lying. So, you know, there you go then. They couldn't afford other seats. They just had to lie him down. But, you know, let's hope he doesn't fall off the back. Alright, so you may be wondering why the 3 engines are different. Like, you have this random on the end. That's because if you actually watch the film, I kind of like the way they tried to incorporate it, but it didn't really work, to be honest with you. This engine on the end has a bit of damage, or rather it's being repaired, you know, like the panel's off and things, so they tried to recreate that. Yeah, it hasn't really worked, because it's blatantly obvious, and in the film it wasn't that obvious. I mean, if you really looked, you could see it, but it wasn't blatantly obvious where it is now. So this engine is meant to be one of those engines, except stripped down apparently, or something. I much rather like the new one we're going to get, which is basically the exact same engine except with stickers on it. So I much like that more design. I'm surprised they haven't thought of it earlier. Now then, the only features of this set, really. Let's just look at the back, by the way. Cool. The only feature of this set is where you put the lightsabers. You know, you take their lightsabers out, and where are they meant to put them? Well, you put them. Ta-da! This thing just simply, you know, it's only attached by those two studs, so you can very easily, you know, take it off. I mean, if you turn it upside down, I don't know why you turn it upside down, it's not really meant to, but if you did, it's not going to fall off, but you can extremely easily take it off. And in there, you're meant to put the lightsabers. Now, you can't put them all the way because they're too long, so obviously this would not actually happen, but you're meant to stick the blade out. Oh wait, is it that way? I'm not sure which way it is. Not sure it matters, but there you go. Oh, it's got to be that way because it can't fit the other way. So, oh, I see how it's meant to work. Okay, hang on. Just trying to do this. Okay, so the hilts are meant to go in those slots, and the blades are meant to go in there. Then you put that down. Yeah, they do obviously rock about because there's nothing to keep them there, but there you are. They're there now, and when you wear them, they're the lightsabers. Very simply, nothing really to this, just simply an open slot in the thing where you put the lightsabers. And there you go. This engine attaches on very easily, if you were curious. And both these engines attach on like so. It's exactly the same thing on both sides. So, good. I like the detailing, the fact that it's not completely symmetrical. You know, the fact, you know, it's meant to show that it's got a bit of wear and tear and that, you know, all this stuff. That's good. If we open this, actually, I want to just show you. Open these panels. We see here, we've got these pipes. These are the same pipes we get in, what was it, the Ewok Village. Except in those ones, I believe they're brown or black. I've forgotten. Now, obviously, when you get them, they're straight. But once you put them in there, they bend. And if you have it in there for years, like I have, in fact, 4 years now, I suppose, then obviously they'll stay in that position when you take them out. See? Stay in that position. So you can just easily slot them in. You get 2 of them to represent the sort of grill thing we got in... when we saw in the thing. Okay. That's pretty much it, really. There's nothing really more to this set. As I said, it's not a bad set. I suppose I'd give it, I don't know, 5 out of 10 or something. It's average. I wouldn't call it inherently bad. Personally, at the time, I thought it was the best Landspeeder that we'd had. Obviously, now we're getting a new one. I personally prefer that one. So this one, you don't really need to get this at all now. There's not really any reason to get it. You know, just for whatever. But there you go, really. That's the set then. Yeah. So yeah, good set. I suppose I would have recommended it back then, but now, obviously, yeah. But I've said that like 3 times now, so. Let's see the instructions. The instructions are about average size. Nothing really to say about them. Average thickness and everything. I miss these cool Clone Wars things. Yeah. This came in the winter of 2010. So you can see how you construct his backpack. Very simple. You know. We go straight to the back. We have this thing. Lego Club. Some of the sets that came out in the winter. I've got that. I reviewed it. Haven't got that. Reviewed that. Haven't got that. I do have that, and I'm going to rebuild it at some point. And I don't have that. So, And there you go. Oops. Landspeeder, that's the only feature. It comes out. I don't know really what that is. I assume that's size reference, or at least meant to be size reference. Doesn't really work, to be honest with you. Yeah. I've got 2 of these, by the way. I've actually got 2 of these sets. I got one of them on eBay for £8 when it was new, by the way, and it didn't have any of the figures or anything. But the thing is, because I got it years and years and years ago, it ended up getting broken up, and I thought to myself, no, it's actually a cool set. So I ended up getting a whole nother one in the box, you know, with all the figures and everything. So technically, I have 2 of the Speeder. I don't have 2 of the minifigures because I got the first one without minifigures. But I have 2 of the Speeder, so, you know, and I have 2 of the instruction manual. But there you go. But there you go then. So, again, I will say for the last time, I don't really recommend it because we're getting the new one, so definitely get that one. You know, it's only going to be till like the summer, so I hope you can wait. I'll give it about 5 out of 10. Average set, it's kind of a bit forgettable, partially because we've had quite a few versions of it, partially because we're getting a new one, and just things like that. But yeah, that's really it. To the review of Luke's Landspeeder, like the 3rd version. You know, it's a bit, when you think about it, it's a bit weird why they make this 3rd version. Well, they're making a 4th version of this. And they've only made like a couple of versions of sets we really, really want. For example, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, the MTT, that's get a load of requests to rebuild. And, you know, we've only had 2 versions of it. Also, the Sandcrawler, everyone wants to rebuild that, and, you know, not yet. So, don't know why this has had 4 different variants, but okay, we'll just go with that. But there you go then, guys. That is my review of Luke's Landspeeder from 2010. If you like this video, please give it a like down below. That would really encourage me, make me happy. Please leave a comment down below on whatever you want. You know, ask any questions, just anything really, and I will answer them for you. You know, actually, I do answer all the questions that are put to me. And obviously, please subscribe to my channel. Because that would also make me very happy, and yeah, and that would really encourage me, and yeah, just please subscribe. But yeah, so there you go then, that was my review of Luke's Landspeeder. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. No idea what that will be. I don't know, I was thinking of doing analysis on these summer line pictures. By the way, check out my last video, which was on these summer, you know, pictures. You know, and I might do an analysis of them, so we'll see, but, you know, whatever. But until then, I will be seeing you next time. Yeah. GeneralJSmith, out.